We have been led to believe that parental roles are divided along traditional lines. For example, mothers are the primary caregivers, and then the fathers are the breadwinners. But is that still working for us? That is something that we are going to explore today, and I would like to welcome you back to my channel, Limitless Voices with Namono, a place for self-conversations, a place where every voice matters. And today, I'm joined by an amazing lady with me here today, and we are going to be discussing this with her. But first, hold it there. I would like to give her the opportunity to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Priscilla. I'm a Christian lady. I am married to Brian, and I have a little girl called Missy, and I also serve as a family mentor at the Amazima School.
Wow, that is our guest. And just to remind you a little, we are talking about gender stereotypes and how can we really break these. And when we're starting, I mentioned that there is a way parental roles have been divided along traditional lines. And I'm asking myself this big question. Is that still working for us, in your view, as a wife, as a mother?
Well, I would say traditionally as Africans, it's a common thing and is still present a lot in homes that are still so traditional. But to my experience in my home, like I mentioned, I'm a mother and a wife, we are blurring those lines. We are learning to work together. We're taking the marriage as teamwork. We are building a generation that's trying to be a foundation, breaking the old ideas and the different mentalities back then that limited people, so that we get to grow and give a wonderful foundation to the little babies and children that we'll have. So,
wow, interesting. I'm already feeling so excited because I think one of the worries is let's say, for example, we have these days corporate ladies who have taken on leadership positions because we believe that it's not only the man who is going to be the breadwinner, but this can be a partnership where resources are brought together so that the family is built. And I love what I'm hearing, that you're working as a team. It's not only a role of a mother to be the primary caretaker, but this can also be done by the man. And I've heard so many times some men say, my wife, the child is crying, can you please come pick them up? And sometimes it disturbs me because the wife is busy maybe preparing lunch or dinner, or maybe they're doing laundry. What's your take on that statement?
well, the scenario that you've presented us with is quite a common one actually, even in my household, where maybe I'm doing something and then the baby's there and then maybe there is a need of attention. So to handle that matter, usually we have to remember that parenting is mainly focusing on the child's needs and the child's life generally. So we are working together. Now, you may want to look at the odds and the different scenarios of that. Because let me say the child is crying, every mother or a mother who's out there can tell you that sometimes the child is reaching out to you. So if your husband comes and he's asking for the help with this child and surely he's hopeless, consider, remember we're talking about this is teamwork. This is teamwork. So if you can come in and maybe put that aside and then attend to this child. When this child is peaceful, that tension with the mother, the screaming is going to go down, and also with the husband. But I would then say that I believe it's a good thing if then the man offers to stand in on what the lady was doing. Surely if he was not doing any other thing that maybe he can't live at the moment. So that helps with that balance. It takes away the tension from the mother. It helps her not get so tired in the whole marriage and family. So then that makes her a very wonderful partner in all of it. So when you look at it, the partnership is to keep the energy flowing in the family.
Wow. So yes, I'm really loving this conversation because we are trying to explore this to see how can we really work together, but also I love the word that you use, how can we blur these stereotypes. And what I'm hearing you say is sometimes it's because the man is helpless and maybe the child wants the mother, which is very true. How about in scenarios where some men just use it as a way of saying, have your child. This is your child. What would you say about that? It's not that the child wants the attention of the mother, or maybe, please help me. There is nothing that I can do in this situation. But it's just a way of saying, please, this is your child, and this is your role as a mother in the house, in that situation.
Definitely, I do not side with that. That's a lot of selfishness. And as I mentioned, as a Christian lady, I believe that we should do everything in love. And I think it's Ephesians 5:21 that talks about us submitting to each other's needs. So you cannot just come in with selfishness and put a lot of burden on this lady. You're killing the love. You're making her into something that she will not be pleased with. And with time, then the question will be, what happened to my wife? She's so gloomy, she's so grumpy, she does not take care of herself. So I would encourage now for those that are already there to also look at it as a point that needs a conversation, to deal with it, to dissect it and find ways of trying to mitigate it.
Very interesting points there that I'm really picking. I hope you also picked them. But just for me to capture some of those that I picked for you. One is having a conversation about some of those things. I think these are some of the things we miss mostly when we are dating. It's just the butterflies. How do I really feel about this guy?
The food.
Oh my, he's taking me to a new place. And these are critical conversations that we really miss out to have. And I love the fact that you say we should have conversations around this. I think it's a reminder to me that if I'm having conversations, these are some of the things that should be top notch on my list. And to whoever lady that is out there, gentleman that is out there, this is something that you really need to have a conversation on. So that when you get there, you're not shocked when I'm saying, hey, please help me take care of the child. I'm busy doing this, not to take advantage of him, but because I need the support. But I also love the fact that you say doing it out of love. We have different love languages. And for me, I believe if I'm busy and someone lifts off a load and they are willing to take care of the child, they are willing to once in a while make a meal for me, I feel that is the highest form of love. Priscilla.
Yes, and it's also a chance for bonding. It's a great moment of bonding. As a mother, also, I'd like to give an experience that I had in hospital. There is a concept of kangaroo mother care that we were presented with or introduced to in the hospital when I just had my little girl. It's skin to skin care. It goes beyond just the mother and the baby, just for them to be skin to skin. But my husband was also encouraged to do it as a way of bonding with each other. Yeah, so you see, even scientifically, there is support for that. There is a need for that bond to even eradicate those future issues of the lady owns the children. If you give all these children to her, then don't be surprised when they're attached to one side. But we need to know that the children need both parents. So avail yourself. This is parenting. This is not only about providing for the family at this point, the child, the care. There is nothing, you cannot bring in that. Providing for the family. No. This is your child that you made up in love. So team up.
Wow, interesting. And just to add on to that, I've seen you and your husband and your little beautiful daughter walk around as you go to pick food, and it's really amazing to see. She's in the middle and you're holding her hands, and I'm like, wow, this is so beautiful. How have you been able to reach that? Is he okay doing it? Because sometimes men will be like, no, why are we doing this stupid
He actually loves it a lot. He accepts her craziness actually more than I do. From these different experiences we've had as a couple, first of all, we have chosen to take a lot of the challenges we've gone through as a couple as a way of bonding. So that has been one of our strengths. So we know that we are this one unit against the world there. So if he's not present as the first man in her life, then that means he's giving her away to the next man out there. So he's presenting himself. He does it out of love. He enjoys it. He loves being with the daughter. Carries her all the time. And next time there's a time when she started getting fond of me and he started saying, now you're changing sides. You're changing. So really, it's something that is in him, but I thank God that these are some of the things that we got to have a talk about, and he already liked it. So I thank God that's something that's just in him. So, yeah.
I think we need more like your husband because it's really beautiful to see families work together. The man and the wife work together and they are both involved in the life of the child. I think the child thrives better because they know a mother's love, but they also know a father's love, which is really very paramount. So I hope the single people out there, me inclusive, let me point at myself, I hope you're really learning and taking points from this, because these are some of the things we overlook. But then when we get into marriage, life becomes real. And it's good to just continue having people in your life that you look up to, that are really setting the right example for you that you can really take.